Hello and welcome to Judging by the Cover, where we'll be judging Terminator Genisys. By the cover, I mean poster. That's right, we're moving outside the video game remit, pushing the fucking boat out, and the boat never stops, so you'd better stay in the boat, or you're going to be doing a whole bunch of swimming. Well, I suppose we could start by pointing out the big fat fucking plot spoiler front and center, but this is judging by the cover, not judging by the things that happen in your shitty film I haven't watched or indeed thought about until this moment. Terminator Genisys, besides sounding like the name of a poorly translated abortion clinic, felt that the usual approach of all the characters standing around next to each other was too obvious, so instead arranged them in random order and random size. Here, for example, is an illogically sized city being terrorized by an illogically sized burning man, standing with fists clenched like he's some kind of tough guy. I think the optimal moment to start fighting was some point before you got set on fire, mate. Ooh, the being set on fire I'll let slide, but anyone who tries to piss on my ashes had better fucking watch out. We can infer who he might direct his anger at, because the arrangement of elements does make it look like the fire is pouring out of Arnold Schwarzenegger's ear. I've never designed a robot skeleton, but this does seem like an odd place to put the cigarette lighter. Certainly doesn't impress the lady just behind. Oh, there he goes again with the fiery ear thing, her eyes seem to say. The other bloke at the very back is a little more thrown by it. Either that, or because, going by perspective and position relative to other characters, the lady seems to be about 8 foot tall. One detail I didn't notice at first glance is the Terminator skull she's holding onto there. From this we learn that Terminator skulls are designed with finger holds, so that after a hard day's terminating, they can unwind by taking off each other's heads and using them as bowling balls. Let's not read too much into her holding a robot skull, though. It's probably just visual shorthand, and it'd only be weird if she started making a habit of... oh. And now it's in the other hand, so I guess we can rule out superglue mishap. Arnold has put his shades on now that there's no risk of the frames being melted by the fire gushing out of his ear. What a master of disguise. Now that red eye's been covered, I see nothing else that could possibly prevent him passing as a perfectly normal human. No siree. Note the American flag flying behind the two characters. It just strikes me as odd. Surely there's nothing inherently patriotic about fighting robot monsters from the future. The future isn't a different country. It just seems that way because everyone talks weird and the currency's different. Or maybe it's the law that you have to have an American flag on display when every visible character is holding a gun. I'm also noting the absence of the bloke from the background of the last poster, which is a shame because it seems like he'd really fit in. Maybe that's why he looked so discombobulated. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. We're doing the one where we all hold guns today, right? We're not? Oh, bugger me. And then the 8 foot tall lady's all like, oh, there he goes again with the showing up on the wrong day holding a gun. It's just like my dad after the divorce. Of course, she isn't 8 foot tall in the second poster, I notice. This is presumably because about 30 inches of her legs have now been burned off by all the fire she's been standing in. If you're gonna pose with a robot skull, lady, at least do it in places that aren't on fire. That's better. Reset the future, it says, and it seems we've reset it all the way back to the desktop wallpaper. What an odyssey this robot skull has gone through at this point. If only it could speak. It'd say... Nyah! Nyah!